Let's do some entertainment news now.
Hey, Jill, you have a special guest?
Yes, I do. It was a 3-day celebration of peace and music that would change the history of rock and roll forever. And now, 40 years later, the film Taking Woodstock brings us back to where it all began. Take a look.
You know, we're going to need a place for people to crash while we prepare the festival. Your place looks pretty cool. How many vacant rooms do you have for the next couple of weeks?
Well, it depends on how you define room.
You know, how many people can crash with you? What do you guys charge?
Let's see. It's $8 a night, but that can be for doubles. And we give a weekly discount, of course. Plus the cabins, you can get cots, so 4 people per, about 150, I'd say. You can get about 200 people.
Hey, man, let's make it easy. Why don't we just buy the El Monaco out for the season? Just figure out the costs, write it down, we'll take a look. And if we don't use all the rooms, you can rent out the free ones. We need to keep some cleanup crews around afterwards, and if you got some bigger spaces for offices, that kind of thing, we need to put in some phones and have some space to park vehicles. You know where we're going?
Mm-hmm. There you go, it's
Looks like we can work with this, Ellie.
cool.
Please welcome back to the show, Jonathan Groff. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me back.
First question, was that your real hair? I mean, you do have long hair, but that's a little curly.
That was a wig, yeah.
It was a wig.
Yeah, it was a wig. They were gonna, I grew my hair out really long for it. They were gonna perm it. But Michael Lang's hair is so iconic, they didn't want to take any chances, so they gave me a wig.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Now, you're a Tony-nominated actor, and it's the first movie, though, you've ever done. What was that like?
It was incredibly exciting, incredibly daunting, scary, thrilling. It was great because Ang Lee was the director of this movie, and so you feel sort of nervous, you know, going to work with Ang Lee, but you also feel really safe because he's such a great director. So I felt like I was in really good hands.
Were there any pointers from him? Anything in particular?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would sit and we had some rehearsal for the film, and he would sit like as far as you are from me right now, and he would look at me in the face and give me like acting notes, like acting for film as opposed to theater and how it's different and what I could do. He was great.
Yeah, speaking of that, what was your biggest challenge adjusting from theater to acting, you know, on screen?
I think that like the big difference is that, you know, doing acting in theater, it's like long distance running, and doing acting on film, it's like short distance running. It's sort of the same thing, but it takes sort of different muscles. And on the film, you just sort of, you do a scene once, like in one day, and that's sort of it. You have one day to sort of get it right, and so it's very intense and focused on that one day. Whereas in the theater, you get to do it over and over and over again. So there's a little more pressure in the film.
Very cool. Now, also let's talk about Michael Lang in the movie. You play him, and he's a visionary co-producer behind Woodstock. Now, did you have any, like, you know, big expectations, or were you nervous meeting him?
I was, yeah. I mean, Michael is like the face of Woodstock. Yeah, totally iconic. Not for just what he did, but for how he looks and how he interacts with other people. He's this incredible human being, and I was doing hair last summer in Central Park.
Yeah, we had you here last time.
Yeah. And he came to see me in that, and afterwards we met, and he gave me his phone number and his email, and said, you know, any questions you have, let me know. And so I went and spent the weekend with him up in Woodstock at his house, and picked his brain. And he wrote this book actually that just came out called The Road to Woodstock, which is a great book. And he was writing it while we were filming the movie, and he would email me chapters from the book. So he was incredibly instrumental in playing him in the movie.
Did he share any really crazy memories of the?
I think the most interesting thing, Michael always had like a bag that he wore in all the pictures that are taken of him. He had this like little like satchel like bag.
It wasn't a man purse?
It was like a merce, yeah. It was a
all right,
purse,
just
yeah.
checking.
But like a '69 version of a merce, so there was like some beads. And Ang Lee asked him, like, what was in your bag that you carried all over the place? And he said, $5,000.
Cash?
Just in case.
Just in case. I want to be his friend.
I know,
Go
right?
out and just in case end up at the mall shopping with him.
Right?
Oh, wow. Well, any pressure, you know, about the film itself, about finishing it all? I know you obviously didn't live through Woodstock, but you've done a fantastic job. Did you feel pressured, like, to have such an amazing role, to live up to someone?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure when you make a movie about Woodstock because so many people were there and know what it was like and know what it looked like. But when you have someone like Ang Lee directing it, he has such an incredible attention to detail. And so he really does his research and gives you a lot of homework to research, so you really feel like you're being taken care of.
All right, tell me what you're working on now in the park.
I'm doing The Bacchae.
The Bacchae, got it.
Yes, The Bacchae, which is a Greek tragedy by Euripides.
There you are.
Oh my God, there I am, yeah.
You are again. So it's at the Delacorte Theater in Central Park, right?
Yes, yes.
So how is that going for you?
It's incredible. You know, the Delacorte is free. The audience waits in line and they get tickets for free. And so it's under the stars. Last night, at the very end of the show, I play the god of wine, the god of the grape, Dionysus.
That's the best one.
The god of thunder. And last night, there was actual thunder and lightning that was happening during the show. It was incredible.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Of course, we're going to tell everyone to check that out. And Taking Woodstock hits theaters next Friday, and you can see Jonathan in the Buckeye until August 30th. Once again, that's at the Delacorte Theater in Central Park. Go down. It's free. Great show. Can't beat that.
Right.
Thank you, Jonathan. Let's head back to the desk.